What's going on, everybody? My name's Liam DeBoer. I'm here with ET Transport, and today we're going to figure out why CAT, a company that was dominant in the trucking engine industry for decades, stopped producing engines seemingly out of nowhere. Over the course of this video, we'll dive into both the history and the future of the company. So let's get into it. Caterpillar, or better known as CAT, was the leading manufacturer in the highway truck engine market for decades. These engines were some of the most sought after in regards to performance and reliability. At one point in time, CAT was producing roughly 40% of the engines found under the hoods of trucks, tour buses, school buses, and RVs all across America. So why would they stop producing engines? Well, before we get into why they stopped, let's first look at why they started. Caterpillar was the result of a merger between two companies in 1925, Holt Manufacturing and CL Best Tractor Company. And for the first 6 years of the company's existence, they were focused on producing tractors. However, while developing the Model 60, their first tractor, they ran headfirst into a manufacturing wall. None of the popular engine manufacturers at the time, such as Atlas, Mercedes-Benz, and Buda, produced an engine that was both powerful enough to run their machine and small enough to fit in its frame. So, CAT was forced to enter the engine manufacturing market in 1931. At this point in time, America was still dealing with the ripple effects of the stock market crash of the 1920s. The economic collapse caused the nation to start searching for more cost-effective fuel alternatives, as the astronomical cost of gas was emptying the pockets of anyone operating heavy equipment, a problem that still hasn't been fixed a century later. Caterpillar decided to keep names simple and launched the Diesel 60 in 1931, which found its home under the hood of their Model 60 tractor. Over the following decades, CAT would continue developing diesel engines for their expanding tractor line, which eventually led them to building the D343. The predecessor to the famous CAT 3406 engine. The D343 was designed for tractors, although over time it was retrofitted to become compatible with over-the-road trucks. CAT instantly became an extremely popular engine brand and was turning heads all throughout the industry. With this new and exciting success, CAT decided to go full steam ahead and developed the famed 1693 engine, which was the first large-bore motor to be used in over-the-road trucks. CAT's profits and progress increased greatly for the decades to come, so let's fast forward to the 1990s where things started to get bumpy. At the time, CAT engines, such as the 3406B and the ever-present 3208, were still in production. However, these engines were starting to be dropped by the company as they were planning to replace them with engines that would use an electronic control module. This shift in technology brought about the engines we know of today as the 3126 C7, 10, 12, 13, and 15. These engines, fitted with the new ECM technology, increased technician troubleshooting capabilities, tightened emissions, and increased fuel economy standards. While uncommon at the time, virtually all modern engines today use electronic injectors. Now, let's hop to the early 2000s when the Environmental Protection Agency started tightening its regulations on emissions. The EPA started calling for NOx and particulate matter reduction, which CAT found a clever loophole for. Instead of using EDR technology like many of the other engine manufacturers, CAT decided to use IBA and VVA technology instead. This led to the use of DPS in 2007, which is an advanced solution that removes contaminant and resin deposits from the entire oil and lubricant system of the engines. Although the use of DPS wasn't the only big change, CAT also started to lean heavily on the ARD head, which was one of the first Caterpillar after-treatment strategies that burned particulate matter in the diesel filter. However, this once thought of as a clever idea started eating into CAT's profits as warranty repairs and failures were extremely common, as this system was known to fail every year or two. Between the years 2007 and 2010, the industry started facing similar challenges to the 1920s. The housing market crash in 2008 caused CAT's stock prices to take a dive, and fuel prices started going through the roof. At this time, CAT's main competitors, Cummins and Detroit Diesel, were starting to eat into some of their market shares. Although CAT had an advantage on both of these companies, they weren't beholden to the engine industry, as Caterpillar was also a titan in construction and mining equipment and marine electrical power generation. Seeing as EPA restrictions were making it more and more difficult for engine manufacturers to meet standards, CAT decided to stop building engines altogether and instead decided to build the truck itself. After discontinuing many of the engines the industry came to love them for, the company released the CAT truck in 2012. For a limited time and in rare situations, CAT was fitting these trucks with a CT15 engine that was based on their previous C15 model, although they failed to meet emission standards, which obviously resulted in poor sales. So CAT decided to fit their trucks with an international engine from Bosch, However, these engines weren't only less popular than Cat engines, they were also less reliable. The Cat truck became known for having a laundry list of problems, which included never-ending check engine lights and limited parts availability, something that stressed out any mechanic working on one. And to make things worse, PACCAR, the parent company of Peterbilt and Kenworth, decided to drop some engine options for their trucks. Customers of PACCAR now only had the options between a 13-liter PACCAR engine or the popular Cummins 615. Cat and Detroit Diesel were left hung out to dry. So, with the endless compiling of problems, Cat was pushed to shut down truck manufacturing in 2016. So, where's the company at now and what are their plans for the future? Well, if you're hoping that it'd be to hop back into the realm of over-the-road trucks, I've got bad news, as there hasn't even been a rumor of Cat re-entering the market. Instead, like the rest of the world, they've got their eyes set on sustainable and autonomous technologies. The choice to leave trucking hasn't seemed to hurt the company even remotely, because in 2020, Cat raked in an impressive $41.7 billion of revenue, which cemented themselves as the leading manufacturer of construction and mining equipment. Well, that's all from me, folks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the other breakdowns we've done on PACCAR, Cummins, and Detroit Diesel as well, which you can find right here on our channel. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. Do you miss the days of Cat engines, or are you one of the 1.5 million drivers that still have one living under their hood? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.